big, or Bjarke Ingels group. We are now based both in Copenhagen and in New York. So we're actually doing projects both in the Americas and in Europe mostly, with a few projects in Asia. The projects that we're working on at the moment are a school building in the Faroe Islands, a town hall project in the Estonia or Tallinn. We're also working on a high-rise residential project in Manhattan and a couple of projects in Miami. Well, I think that our process is a very evolutionary process. So we try to actually learn from previous generations. And the utopian kind of ideal is rooted in the sort of 1960s or 70s, where there was a lot of large thinking, big idea thinking. And we see that that big idea thinking also has certain challenges, and that there needs to be a pragmatism of actually how do you realize these big ideas. And so you could say that Big's way of working is to sort of layer the level of utopian big idea thinking with a sort of pragmatic can-do or buildable thinking. So what are the actual ideas which can be built? What we're looking for are stories or narratives, because any building is actually a story of its creation or a story of how it's used. And what we're doing with these projects is that you just named with the Danish Pavilion or with the Park City Art Center, is that we're trying to actually understand the place, the localness of the project. We're trying to also understand, say, the climate, the economic situation, and layering all of this kind of analysis into and weaving a story for a specific project. So the symbolism is probably more like a theme or the main story of this analysis. Like the project in Manhattan, we actually are introducing a courtyard into a high-rise project. And this is something that is quite new, because for 60, 70 years, New York has been all about the tower on the podium, residential projects, office projects, you name it. It's very difficult sometimes to tell the difference between an office building and a housing building. So we are trying to introduce a new typology where we reintroduce the courtyard, and the courtyard is like, in a way, a mini Central Park. Prior to, say, 2007 or 8, the feeling was that the crazier, the bigger, the better. And I think that what we've always done since we started in 2001 is to actually think of ways to improve the quality of life and do so in a pragmatic way that did not necessarily mean at all costs. So we were always thinking of a frugal way to create projects. So, for instance, the 8 House or the Mountain, these two projects are actually built at the normal construction cost, not more or not less, but just the normal construction cost, and creating something that is unique or something that's different from the rest of the residential projects. Sustainable practices, we feel, are actually very local. You cannot adapt one certification process that is from a certain climate zone and apply it to another climate zone. So by that I mean that the tropics, which have a very humid weather, they may not have 4 seasons but only 2 seasons, wet and dry, have very different needs than, say, the LEED, which is based on sort of a North American climate. So we actually are certified as LEED architects. We work on projects that are Green Mark, which is Singapore. We do projects that are Passive House in Germany. We do also projects that use different certification systems in different regions. And we actually have a feeling that sustainability, we call it hedonistic sustainability. The idea that sustainability doesn't have to hurt. It doesn't mean taking cold showers or fewer flights. Actually, if we can create a sustainability that raises everyone's space and everyone's quality, then people are going to more likely change their habits to a better life than a lesser life. And so what we're trying to look at is how can we improve the way our cities are built so that the energy that we create once, we can reuse again and again and again. And this is actually more interesting for us, is how to look at how we use our resources and how we maintain that use of resources.